for this activity here. And so it's 8.1 single cam assembly. So we got this box, this upper downer risey arm thing, a cam and a crank. So we will go here first and we're going to download each of these parts. So it's kind of like when we did the crank toy. And we're going to go click here, wait for it to download, then you click the next one, wait for it to download, next one, download, next one, download, next one, download, next one, and download. So you should have all 6 of those bad boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. All right. So then in Inventor, I've got a lot of stuff open here, so it's going to take it a second. Ooh, a donut. Okay. So we're going to take, once you get to the home screen, you're going to say, let's do a new assembly. Inventor parts, assemble. It's kind of like the Avengers, but Inventor. But one of those two is cool, and it's this one. All right, so we're going to say, once you're in here, I'm going to give you guys a second because it's probably, mine was already open. I'm guessing yours is probably still opening. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, so we're going to go up here to the top left corner where it says place. So you'll click place right here. Oh, I got to change my cursor size because it's really small. Hit the down drop on it. That's too big. So if it says place whatever, you hit the down arrow right here and you just want place. Okay, so then we're going to find those things that we just downloaded, and they're probably going to be in your downloads. If you've got like a lot of stuff in your downloads, you can always click date modified, and it will sort things by most recent first or oldest first, depending on which. If you can just go back and forth like that, and it should be the most recent one. And I can do a little trick here, and I can just click the top, hold shift, click the bottom one, and it'll highlight all of them because we just need one of each of them. So say open, and they're all going to come in. I'll do this slowly. Computer's going to lag a little bit because there's a lot of pieces. And then I'll click. So Control Z, 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 Z. So how I did that, I went place, downloads, I clicked the top one, hold shift, and it highlights all of them. Another way you can do that is you can just click the first one and then hold Control and just click each of them. And it's just a normal click, not like a right click or anything. And drop it in there. Okay, so now you should have all these pieces in here. And I was very nice to you guys, and I added all of these work planes because those are going to be super important today. So, and that'll actually make this go really fast. So you should have, assuming all goes well, you should have a good amount of time to just kind of catch up on stuff today. So this guy right here, oh, I think we might even actually need a second one of these. Yeah, that's true. Okay, we actually need 2 of these ones. So this is the cam rod, so go place, cam rod, open. So you just have 2 of them. Cool, cool. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to use a bunch of constraints. See all these work planes in here? Whenever we've got weird shapes like this, it's really nice to, this is why I like modeling things to start at the origin is so nice, because it allows us to use these planes in assemblies. You don't have to, you can actually create these planes independent of the origin, but it does kind of help I've already done that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So first things first, I've got this box. This is going to be our main frame. I'm going to right click the box and I'm going to say, you were out too late last weekend and you are grounded, young lady. Boom. Or young man. And now that doesn't move, so it stays fixed in place.
Oh, the ground?
Yeah, so you want to ground it. So right click and you click ground it. And that will keep this from moving around, which will be nice because when we have moving parts, you want to have at least one frame of reference to keep everything from like kind of in a relative spot. Because if everything's loose, if you crank the handle, the whole thing might move instead. All right, so now we can drop in our first piece. So this right here is a cam rod, and we want to get this rod through the holes right here. So I'm going to say constrain, and I'm going to use insert. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and I'm going to click just this top area right here, right there. And then I'm going to go over to this hole. So I wanted to go through here and all the way through this one. And then to make it through not this first circle, but the second one. And I'll go click. Oh, and if it does this where it's sticking out the wrong side, you can flip it right here. Flip. So basically you want it to be flush on that side and then sticking out a little bit on that side.
Does it matter which side is sticking out?
Nope, not really. So it can be either side and it'd be okay.
Is there supposed to be like a little gap, be like between, like we constrain? Oh wait, let me just. Okay, we're good. Never mind.
Yeah. So kind of like that. So I'll do that one again just in case. Undo. So I'll go constrain and insert. I'm going to click this top face right here, this outside one right here. It's going to be like this, and I just flip it. Flip. And I click apply. Voila. Wunderbar. And now, if I click this rod, I can spin it in place. That's good. We like that. Alrighty. So, next thing we're going to do is this guy is a cam. So a cam it's a shape that goes around an axle. Engines have these, and as they turn, it'll offset it creates this one will create a sine wave, so it'll go up and it comes down, it goes up and it goes down. And they use it for timing in motors a lot of times. It's used for other things too. But that's probably its most common use. And let's say, so this one, we want to get this onto that rod. So I'm going to go constrain. And this one, I think I can use the mate tool and it'll be all right. And I'm going to try and get this dashed right here. So this dashed axis that goes right through the center. Click that. And then I'm going to try and find the same thing on this rod. So it's going to take a minute, but I kind of have to hover over until I get that. Where's that dashed line that goes all the way through the rod? I'll click axis and apply. And now this rod, or this axis, this cam is going to be constrained to this rod, but it won't be constrained in any specific spot. And it won't yet turn with it. So if I turn the rod, they're not linked yet. But we will fix that next.
Wait, how do we move that? It's like how far you constrain it to the line?
Yeah, that'll help. So I'll do that one more time for you. Oh, undo. So I've got this cam. I'll use constrain. We can just use the mate tool for this one. I'm going to find the center axis of this cylinder, and then I'll find the axis of this shaft right there. Let's say apply and cancel. There it is. All right, and now just for fun, any guesses as how we're going to make this cam turn with the rod? Ooh, the planes, you're right. So there are a couple of planes in here added for you because they help significantly. We'll go constrain, and I can use the mate or the flush. Either one should work fine on this. And I'm going to click this little plane right here that's going through the cam. And then I'm going to click the plane, either one of these planes on the cam rod, and I'll click apply. And now, if I turn this, they should turn together. Whee!
Does it matter which little plane on the cam?
No, it can be either one.
Wait.
So I'll do that one more time. So is that it? I can't tell.
Is anybody else ready to make that face fuel on April 10th, something like that? Guess what? Mask mandates want to
So what I'm going to do is say constrain, and I've got this little plane that's going to go through the center. It's kind of hard to find it sometimes. There's this tiny little square one that goes through the center of the cam. The cam's like the hole or whatever. I'm going to click that one, and then I'm going to click that. I'll say and I'll say apply, cancel. Whoa, what have I done? Whoops. That was really weird. There we go. Shoo, 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 shoo.
It's being so weird.
It can be either one. Either plane on the rod is fine. Alrighty.
Okay, so train the
Okay, so
it's not working. What the heck?
let's try it again. So I'm going to go undo, undo, undo. Alright, so I've got this rod, there's this cam, it's this tiny plane right here. I'll click that little plane, and then I'm going to click either one of these and it will be fine. And apply. Ta-da! Sweet. It's very satisfying. Alrighty. So you can probably guess where we're headed next. So this guy is the crank handle. And just like this one, it's almost the same process as the cam over here. So I'm going to go constrain. I'm going to find this axis right here. I'm going to stick it onto this axis, the dotted line, not one of the planes. And it'll go like that. Sometimes it will flip it the wrong way, so it'll be like that. You can kind of just mess around with these ones until you get the orientation that you want. Yeah. That one I just used the mate tool. But insert, I think insert will work as well. So if you go constrain, insert, and I click this top circle, and then this one right here. Oops, and I'll just flip it. There you go. Yeah, insert works as well. In fact, insert might even be better. In fact, yeah, I'll just do it again with insert. So constrain, insert right here. I'm going to click this one and this one. It's going to flip it weird. So I'll just do the switcheroo right here. Switch, switch, switcheroo. And there it is.
Other one first instead of one thing.
And if you do the mate,
Yeah, you can start with the other one first too. Yeah. Huh?
if you didn't mate, you just flush it out.
Yes. Yeah. Good point. So if you use the mate, then you just flush the two surfaces. Alrighty. So I've got this rod, and it is not turning.
So we have to freeze it.
Yes, we gotta constrain the planes together. That's just fun to say. Constrain the plane. So constrain, and I can use mate or flush on this one. Either one should work. I'm gonna click this plane, and then I can click either of the planes on the rod. And I'll say apply, cancel. Now, if I turn this, they'll turn together. They are friends. Look at them swinging together.
Which ones do we choose? The
So this plane, and then either of those planes.
either of the red planes.
Yeah. Whee! Oh, and a funny thing, if you're wondering, like, hey, why do my planes look blue and some look, and what?
How do I get the crank arm?
I'll show you. I've got this arm. Okay, so I've got this crank arm right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say constrain, insert, and I'm going to click this circle, the one that's facing on the outside right here, and then this one on the end of the rod, and then I'm going to flip it. So right now it's opposed. Yep. And apply. And then I'll go back to the mate tool, and I'm going to use this plane, and then either of these planes will work just fine. Apply. And then these parts are just bestest of friends, and they swing together. Wee, 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 wee. Yes. This thing. So you use the mate tool, and you constrain. There's a little. Where'd it go? There it is. So this plane right here that's coming through the center to the either of the planes on the cam rod. Alrighty. So next we've got this piece, and this piece. And we're going to do a little bit of assemblage before we stick this thing in here, because it's just a little easier to see it. And I want to get this foot onto this part of the rod and this little topper on the top part of the rod as well. So I think we can use insert for both of these. So I'm going to say constrain, insert. And on this one, I'm not going to use this upper circle. I'm going to use the lower one. So not this one, but this one. Oh, right there. And then I'm going to use the bottom of the rod here. Boom. And I'm going to click apply. And that's a good noise. That thunk, the wood block, means we've done it right. Or that it was at least successfully created. Okay, so now that I've got that, I've got one little issue as well. This rod, this foot can turn around, it can kind of spin independent. So if I go like that, it'll, well, not like that. Huh, maybe it won't let me do that, but it is not fully constrained yet. So what we got to do is, kind of like we did with the cams, we're going to say, you can see how this is, well, actually it's pretty well lined up, but we got to constrain it anyway. So let's constrain, mate tool. I'm going to use maybe this one because it's easier to select, and this one, flip, and click apply. And now if I rotate that, these will stick together.
Wait, which ones did you put?
So I'll back it up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go constrain, and here I'm gonna use insert. I'm gonna click way down here, not this upper circle, but the lower one. Click. And then I'm gonna come over here, and I'm just gonna click this circle here, and click apply. And then there's one more for this one. I'm gonna use the mate tool again. And I'm going to use this plane and this plane, and it's going to shift that around so those are locked. So I'll say apply, and it is wonderful. I love it. Okay. All right. So these are stuck together. That's good. Now I just need to put this little cap on top, because we are not going to pop the cap. We are going to unpop the cap. So we'll say constrain, insert. I'm going to grab this top inner circle right here, boom, and connect it to this top circle here, boom, and apply. And voila, we are so good at this, it's crazy. Click cancel. Alrighty, there we go. So we've got this little thing, looks kind of like a pogo stick. And this crank toy, they're both assembled, but they are not conjoined. So we got to turn this into a Megazord, and it's got a combine forces here.
Wait, so how do you combine the planes with the orange cap?
You actually don't need to on that one.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah, good question. The orange cap one, it's kind of just. Yep. Yeah. So this one it can turn. It's not essential. All right. You could if you wanted, but it doesn't have to. So next little item of business is this. So we're going to say constrain, and this time I'm going to use the mate tool, and this one's going to be slightly different than what we've done in the past. So I'm going to try and find the center axis. Got it. And I'm going to find the center axis of this hole in the top of the box, right there. And if you got it, like if you're lucky, then it turned out like this. Maybe it was upside down, so it was like this. Just kind of dink around with these options right here until it looks right.
Which one's the right one? The orange?
This one. So you want the orange one on top.
Okay, what if it's like halfway through?
That's okay. Mine's halfway through as well. So if it's, as long as it's on this plane, or like it's on that axis, that's what we want for now.
All three of the options are correct.
You might have to reselect the axis.
Yeah, it lets me like rotate it.
Yeah, and mine will rotate too. So it's like, that's great, but that's not quite what we need. So
Rotates a different way.
what we can do, now that we've got this in here, we want the we want this foot right here to always face forward, kind of like that. The problem is the way that because it's unconstrained right now, it will face whatever way it wants. So we're gonna go and constrain. I'm gonna use the mate tool. I think flush could actually work for this too. And I'm gonna use any of these planes that are parallel or should be parallel with this work plane. So I'll click this one and then that one and apply. And there it is. So now, if I try to rotate this, it doesn't. It'll stay facing forward, which is good.
Is the curve part supposed to be facing those
So the curve should be facing forward.
rotate?
Alrighty. So there's that guy. Oh, whoops. What did I just do? There we go. And once you get to this point, there's one last step, and it's the bestest one of them all. You're going to use constrain, and it's a new constraint we have not used yet, called tangent. So I click tangent, and I click this surface and this surface to, the outer circumference there. So I'll go, oh, come on, boom, and boom, and apply. What that is going to do is it's going to allow it to always follow that surface. So if I crank this, it'll always follow that, and you've made a crank toy. Yes, ma'am.
Does it matter which way the purple is?
Wait, so how do we get to
The purple? Yeah, so it should be facing forward like this so that it can ride on top of that cam.
If it isn't, how do you remove the constraint?
You probably just have to undo a couple of times and just replace the constraint. Sorry, Ken, what was that?
How do I get to that point where you get like the purple and the blue thing together because I fell behind?
Oh, you're good. Okay, I'll do that again real quick. So, all right, so once you get to this part, this is the last step. You'll go constrain and tangent, and then you're going to click, there's a lot of planes in here, so you got to be really careful. Come in and you want this surface, and you're going to constrain it to this surface. And you click apply, and you rotate this, it's going to go whee, whee. Whee! Whee! And it's great. It works just dandy as a lion.
Okay. Can you do that one more time? I still think I'm
No worries. I can do that again. So, here we go. We'll go constrain, tangent, and I'm going to zoom in right here. And we're going to click this face, and then I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and zoom back in on this cam. I want to get this face as well. And if I click apply, it should do a little dance. Just like that. It's so cool. I freaking love it. Yeah.
Right after the purple thing, what new constraint the tangent when did you do that?
For the purple thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, oh, whoops, I went the wrong way. Oops. I should have undone that. Oops, did the wrong one. No, I didn't want that. I want that. Come on. That one. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Sorry, I went back too far. Constrain this and that. That's what I want. Okay, so for the purple thing, I'm going to use tangent. So it looks like this one right here. I'm going to click this right here. And then I'm going to click this surface here. And apply. Also pronounced apply.
So do we just send in a screenshot of this?
Yep, and you just submit your screenshot. Just make sure it works like this, but as long as everything's lined up, I can pretty much tell that it'll work just fine. So, yes, I can do that. So once you got this guy taken care of, I'll just go down here, type in snip, snipping tool, new, like that, and then submit that baby. Okay. And that is pretty much it. So, yeah, I will hit stop recording on here. Good luck.